right, we are live.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Good?
Yep.
Okay, good. And we can see the state of the club slide there. All right, and I see some people in the chat. So we've got some people. So we're going to go ahead and get started then. This is a little weird doing like I'm on Google Meet and then we're on YouTube live stream and we're all just like I'm seeing myself in 3 different places. So I want to make sure I'm clicking in the right areas. Okay, so welcome everyone to our first State of the Club. Trying not to make it too formal and call it an address, but it's just a meeting of Gateway Football Group, which is our name currently, and our membership, and maybe some of you who maybe aren't yet members, but thank you for joining. We wanted to have this meeting tonight to just kick off 2026. 2026 is going to be a very exciting year, second to only 27 when we actually kick off and play soccer. But I think 26 is going to be super exciting. We're going to forget we don't even have a club on the field yet because we're just going to be doing so many fun and exciting things as a membership. I wanted to have this meeting also because we're already at 85 or 86 as of today members. So we wanted to be transparent in the name of being, inclusive and transparent and accountable to all of you. We wanted to have this meeting. So I should have started with who I am. I'm Christine Miller, the president of Gateway Football Group. And for those of you who don't know, Gateway Football Group is the name of the nonprofit organization that is bringing the Fan Built Club to St. Louis. Our name will change very soon in March. We'll talk more about that soon. But GFG, Gateway Football Group, that's what that is. You'll also see Fan Built STL, which is what our social media handles are. Until we have a real name in place very soon, we just have a bunch of different things that we're going by, trying to see kind of what catches attention in different areas. So we'll go ahead and get started. So this is our agenda. We're going to kick off. We're going to talk about each of these things. The club DNA is just like who we are. Our origin story, where we came from, where we are, where we're going. The scoreboard is what success looks like for us. The call up, we will drop a club name hint during this meeting. I don't know if that was announced in advance, but we talked about if we could get to 100 members before the beginning of the year, we would drop a club name hint on social media. And we're not quite there, but we know that you all have been with us from most of you from the very beginning, like literal day one. So we wanted to, for the sake of excitement and everything else, share a big hint with you guys. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll do some Q&A. Okay, so I'm going to talk for a little bit longer and then I'm going to pass it off and then you'll hear from me again. But this is your board of directors for Gateway Football Group. For 25 and 26, we were elected in October for a 6-month term, basically to get this club off the ground, get us to the name launch, and then we'll have a new election of board of directors, which we'll talk about later, not necessarily in this meeting, but at a later date. Members, you all can nominate people for board of directors. You can run yourselves. You can vote and you'll be part of that in April. But for now, from left to right in this picture, we have Rain, which is our director of operations. Philip with the mustache is our treasurer. Behind him is Stephen Bolin, which is our vice president. That's me in front, your president. And then the other mustache, competing mustaches here, is Jeremy, which is our secretary. Then we have Tom, everybody knows Tom, our director of communications. And then we have Joe Miller, which is our director of marketing. Our advisory board members who are not in this picture, but are obviously very important to us, Seb and Alex and Zach from Columbia. They're on almost every single meeting that we have. They come to St. Louis. We've gone to Columbia to meet with them. And everybody is just super important in making all of these things happen so far, the things that we're going to talk about. So Bolin, I'm going to hand it to you to talk about our club DNA.
Great, thank you, Christine. So our club North Star, what are we really building towards? What is our guiding light? Well, this is a lot of text to say a few very important things. We're aiming to bring together St. Louis soccer fans with a club that truly feels like a club. We really strongly feel the beautiful game should be open to everybody and welcoming to everyone. A place where every supporter of the club feels like they belong. Our goal is also to make soccer more affordable and accessible for everyone. We don't want to erect any unnecessary financial barriers or access barriers to anyone. We want to make this a very welcome environment for fans from all over the city and the county and in the metro area, and as Christine mentioned, even in Columbia and beyond, to come to the match and really enjoy a first-class game day experience. We also really want fans to come as they are and find comfort and inclusion with the folks that they're in the stands with, both on and off the pitch. As you'll find out, we're hosting a lot of member events, watch-alongs. We've got a lot of plans this summer to get together as a group, really truly trying to find that third space for everyone. So again, we want everybody to come as they are and feel included. You're going to make a lot of new friends with this club, which is fantastic. I've made a lot of new friends already, which is, as somebody in his mid-40s, so hard to do, but it's so easy when we all have that united purpose. And then finally, one of the biggest and most important things is that we're organized and registered as a 501c3 nonprofit with the Internal Revenue Service. So we're going to use this status that we have, both as a registered nonprofit Missouri corporation and with the IRS, to use soccer to help take care of people, places, and resources that make our community great. So we're going to do all of that through alignment on our 7 pillars of purpose. And Christine, if you can get to the next slide. So we have 7 pillars of purpose that we came up with really early on, and this is really our operating system. So how do we, as a club, how do we approach how we're building? And not just how we're building, but who we're building for. So we really wanted to put an intense focus on community. Community first and always. We really love St. Louis. We love our local soccer community. And we're really built, if you look at it from the neighborhoods out, not from like a corporate level down. And this also speaks to our registered 501c3 nonprofit status. 2, we're really authentic. We're not corporate. We're not beholden to corporate interests. We're not beholden to a gigantic monolithic league in a single entity environment. We are unapologetically St. Louis, and we will not apologize for loving this city. We're also sustainable by nature and necessity. This one kind of has a double meaning, right? So we want to be good stewards of the club to make it truly a place where you can belong, and also very sustainable. But in addition to that, we also want to ensure that we're creating something that isn't a drain on resources, energy, or attention. So we're really trying to build something to last and create a very positive impact in the metro area. We're also very inclusive and welcoming. We're promising to be the most welcome and inclusive club in St. Louis. No matter who you are, you're welcome, and we treat each other with love and respect, both in the stands, on the field, and off the field as we get together and work within the community. We also are building with integrity in competition and everything that we do. Fair play, it earns respect, and we're pledging to field competitors with high integrity and sportsmanship as well as intensity on the pitch, but we're also pledging to do the same off the pitch as we build. We're looking to build by and for legacy. Despite what other cities claim, St. Louis is the true soccer capital of the United States. And we want to honor that legacy of all of the clubs that came before us and all of those past clubs with all their glory. We're hoping to not just honor the past, but create a new legacy for the future through competition. We're hoping to compete in the U.S. Open Cup. Finally, excellence in every touch. We're holding ourselves to a really high standard of excellence in how we approach building the club, and we want to be very responsible and deliberate stewards of everyone's time and treasure. So we'll show up in every interaction we have polished, prepared, and passionate as we all build the club together that St. Louis deserves. If you're interested in hearing any more about our 7 pillars of purpose or learning more about how we've organized, we have a couple of different posts up on our website at gatewayfootballgroup.org. Welcome to go check that out. So I believe now I will turn this over to Tom to give you a little bit of a peek as to our origin story.
All right, thanks very much, Stephen. And I want to go back to the authentic pillar because I want to reiterate that everyone that you are seeing on your screen right now that is part of the board, we are fans first. We have been fans. We are doing this because we love the game and we love our community, and we want to, give back, as much as this game is given to us. And when it comes to our origin story, so you can see in the past 112 days what we have done. But I'm gonna go a little bit beyond that because really the story of Gateway Football Group has, in my opinion, multiple starting points. It's not really one per se. For me, my journey to get here started in 2024 when I discovered a club called St. Charles FC, playing at Lutheran High School in St. Charles County in USL2 and USLW. That's where I first met Joe and Christine of the Mud Puppies. And I would watch the games along with them in their little tent in the corner of the concrete fortress that was that field. And one of our favorite topics of discussion during games would be, what is St. Charles not doing that we could do better if we had our own club someday down the road? And it really, a lot of good discussion, a lot of good ideas were tossed around. But then, of course, St. Charles FC did not come back for 2025. I ran into Joe again on my birthday, June 11th. We went to an FC Ambush game together. And I remember Joe asking, when are we going to get these zombie puppies going? And as in, like, when are we going to get our own club going? And that's always been kind of a dream of ours. And that dream kind of caught a spark in the form of Zach Fisher, who is one of the founders of AFC Columbia in the Midwest Premier League. And I have the text, pull it up right here. It was on September 8th of 2025. And he asked, hear me out. If you started a club with your friends and disgruntled STL supporters, do you think you could get a crowd? One text is really what got this ball rolling, because a couple days later, I texted Joe, mentioned Zach was going to help us get this off our feet. I reached out to a few more people on Discord. Those people are literally right here alongside us as part of this board. And in a matter of a week, maybe 2 at the most, we went from concept to a full Discord channel, and we were really getting the ball rolling on getting Gateway Football Group going. As Stephen mentioned, we are now a 501c3. We got that approval from the government, so we are fully operational as a 501c3. We have created a board of directors. It's a 7-member board, as Christine revealed earlier. And we also have the advisory board with Zach, Alex, and Seb. Seb, I see you in the chat. We have also, through a lot of Joe's hard work, built a social media presence with over 500 followers spread across our social media platforms. Instagram seems to be our most successful so far. We've also launched a Make Your Pitch campaign to name a club, and we got a lot of responses and a lot of good data, and it was very revealing in not just what the team name's eventually going to be, which we will reveal in 2 months' time. But it was also revealing to see the participation for it, because that also told us that, hey, this thing might have some legs. We successfully voted on a name that you like the most, and I want to reiterate that. I want to strongly reiterate this. There was not it. First of all, it's not going to be Clubby McClubface or anything like that. It's not the number one vote getter ran away with the vote, and it's a good name, and we can't wait to reveal it to you on 314. But after that was done, we launched club membership offerings at 2 separate levels. So for 2026, you can be a part of the founders for $25 or you can be part of the Founders Ring for $314 and get lifetime access to all of our Midwest Premier League games in perpetuity. And the response has been incredible. We have 29 Founders Ring members out of our 85 membership total, which tells me that we are really onto something good. And no AE Blue, I am. It's not going to be Toasted Ted Drew's Concrete FC. I see you in the chat there, but I assure you it's going to be a good name, and we are going to give you a little bit of a hint of what it's going to be. I put together a little video to give you some ideas down the road, but on to our next slide.
Okay, so the here and now, where we're at. So like Tom said, 112 days. I know it's a little before that, and maybe it's really years in the making, but 112 days from when we jumped on Discord, said, let's put this together, to today is 112 days. So here's where we're at. Currently, we are a club that's gained 80 plus members in the first 30 days. So we launched our membership on December 1st, and the majority of our members were probably in the first few days and weeks, but we get some almost every day now. So we're at like 85 or 86, like I said, which is so exciting because you all don't even know our club name yet. We've not seen a crest. None of us have. We've not seen a scarf or a jersey, but you obviously like the idea of this, and that has really motivated us. We're currently awaiting our first look at a crest and design from the local St. Louis designer that we hired to create this for us. We're super excited about his work, and all of that we'll share in due time, who he is and his process and everything. Once we've seen it, I'm sure we won't be able to hold it in anymore because we're all very busting at the seams to announce this. We're exploring manufacturers for our first merch launch. So we'll have some merch in March. We'll call it Merch Madness. When we launch our name and everything else, you'll be able to take home your scarf and other things, hopefully, if everything works out. We are prioritizing local first. So we're looking at anything we can find in the St. Louis area, in Missouri, and in the United States whenever possible. So obviously that puts some barriers up, but that is super important to us. We're designing our first our founding member scarf. So all of you who become members, Joe likes to say we don't sell scarves, we sell memberships. So if you have joined us as a member, then you're a founding member and you'll get the founding member scarf. We are planning our members only club launch party for March 13th, Friday the 13th. Put it on your calendar. Pat Connolly's Tavern in St. Louis, we will have a members only party to reveal our crest and our logo and give you your scarves and everything ahead of the public launch, which will come the next day. And then we've been meeting with local organizations that we might want to partner with, such as the Missouri Youth Soccer Association. A couple of us had a really great phone call with somebody from MISA the other day about partnering with us. Literally, we just tell them a little bit about who we are, and they're like, yes, we have to work with you. And we'll talk a little bit in another slide coming up about some partnerships that we have with them and some exposure that we'll have through their organization that we're really excited about. And we are perfecting our sponsorship pitch deck. Obviously, we need money to do this. You all have given us a lot. Thank you. But we need more. So we're going to our sponsors here soon with a deck that we've put together, kind of like listing out, where on our jersey they can sponsor game day stuff that won't happen until 27, of course. Just trying to get that that founding sponsor, front of jersey sponsor is our first priority. So that's where we're at. Let's see, the road ahead is Joe.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. So there's so much stuff that's coming up. There's a ton of stuff that's coming up in the horizon. And I think the first thing I'll say is that this club, we're going to compete in the Midwest Premier League, and that's a May through July timeframe where our games are. But this will be a year-round club. So we are going to be doing things year-round. There will be no downtime, and this slide is going to just kind of be the kicking off point for that. So there will always be something going on with our club. Specifically, in the next couple months, some things that are really exciting to talk through is securing a home field location. So right now we do not have locked in our home field location. There are requirements that the Midwest Premier League has on what our facility must offer. So certain things like lights, locker rooms, press box, those kinds of things. So there are restrictions or needs for our field. And so while there's lots of great facilities in the St. Louis area, we need to make sure it complies with that. And then honestly, there's some other things that we would really like to have for our members, like we'd like to be able to sell alcohol at the matches. And that does change where we land. And we want to make it so that it's in a local or accessible place too. So a lot of different variables, but we've already reached out to a number of facilities and got some connections already going as far as having those discussions. And I think as we get closer, we're still over a year away from playing matches. So we're going to be having those conversations come up soon. It's really exciting to lock in that home field location. Then right after our launch, we are going to apply for admission to the Midwest Premier League. So we have already allocated our funds to be able to enter into the Midwest Premier League officially. So we're going to be doing that as soon as possible once we launch our brand after March 14th. And that's super exciting because that really shows that we're here, we're ready, and we are part of this league. And we are going to promote that league, and it's really exciting to officially be part of that. And we already have, as a board, we've got we're just waiting for that 2026 calendar to be revealed, that schedule for the matches, because we already plan to be going to a number of different home matches for different clubs in the Midwest Premier League to talk to different leadership groups at the different clubs, see what operations are like, besides just doing here locally in St. Louis. But we've got plans to go to a number of different divisions as well. So we really are excited to go out and do our homework for how some of the other clubs operate in the league. And so that all begins with joining the actual Midwest Premier League. A big one, as it was mentioned before, is that jersey sponsor. So we've already got our pitch deck. We're really finishing up the last touches on that pitch deck to really start going out and communicating with different sponsors. One thing is a call out to all of our members and everybody involved with the club is, who do you want to see? We want to know who you want us to partner with as far as organizations and businesses in the community that you would like to see as on that jersey. We have all these pillars that we've defined already, and that's very important to us. And we expect our sponsorships to align with that too. And so, we want to know, who do you want to see? And if you know or work for companies or have connections for places that you think would be a good fit, by all means, come talk to us, blast it out there. We want to hear it, and we want to get involved. But there will be lots of conversations going forward with different businesses in the local community, and we are targeting, again, everything local. So we want local businesses to partner with us for this. And I will say, we don't intend to wait till next year for that jersey. We want to get going on that first jersey. So that's why it is so important in the next couple months to try to identify that jersey sponsor, because we want to have a jersey this summer. We'd love to have a jersey this summer that we can demonstrate. And honestly, I want to start wearing it. I want to wear it to those Midwest Premier League matches, So it's right around the corner, and we're going to be working on it right away. And then exciting too is meeting with potential coaches and sporting staff. So we don't start actually our first game until next year in 2027, but it's about this time next year, we'll probably be kicking off our first tryouts. So it's going to come a lot sooner than you think. And so we're excited to start working with a coach and start having discussions with scouting and looking for players and what type of play we're going to put on the field. So that's all coming up real soon too. And so that's super exciting to just start filling in that identity of this club. And then we're going to continue on growing that membership, because this is so important to us. And it's more than just the dollars that it helps to fund the club to do the things we need to do. We want as many voices as possible. We want to represent this region. We want to represent this city, and everything that we're doing is going back into the community. And so we want the community to be part of this. And so we want to have as many members as possible. It's why our price point is what it is at $25 to get your membership. We want people. We're not trying to price anybody out of being a member. We want you to be a member. We want to hear your voice. And when we start having votes, we want you voting. We want you active and doing all of the events and things that we're going to be engaged with. So we will be having lots of club hangout events. We are looking at getting volunteer events going so we can get together and do good in the community. And then we're going to have watch parties and all kinds of things, and we're going to be going to Midwest Premier League games. So there's going to be lots of different opportunities to come together, but also lots of opportunities for us to be out there and engaging and hopefully having more people say they want to be a part of this and become a member. And then obviously the big one is March 14th, we will launch our club name and have all of our merchandise ready to go. So we are so excited. We've already talked about the process of getting there, but it's been amazing, and we're all bursting at the seams to be able to really plant that flag and have those the colors and the crest to be able to really rally behind. And all the stuff we're working on to have that visual focal point to be able to come together on. So we're super excited about that. And we're really excited about that March 13th member only invite to be able to see that early release of not only just to be able to see the brand and the colors and the crest, but to celebrate together and to have merch available. We're going to have merch available in hand that you can walk in and grab, and you have it that day at that party. And then the founding member scarves as well. So we were so excited about that and being able to just to really celebrate and party all the work that's gone into it, and then quickly turn around and say, all right, let's keep going. And speaking of keep going, a big one, we talked about the partnership with MISA. We've been invited to have a table and a tent at the State Cup tournament, which happens at the end of May every year. There's 100,000 people that come to this thing, and we're going to be there, and we're going to be representing this club and being able to talk to soccer families about all the mission that we've been talking about here, and having an affordable and accessible soccer club to be a part of, to bring your family to, and to engage with, and to be able to get to that platform and be able to represent what we're doing here in front of that many people, and really get to engage with that many people, especially people who are already interested and have their family there to take part in soccer. That it's so exciting, and we are definitely putting a big emphasis on that internally. We want to be able to represent ourselves and represent you as members to the best of our ability in a setting like that. So that's super exciting. There's so much more that you can't even capture on this slide, honestly, that we've got coming up. But it's our commitment to you and our promise to you that we're going to continue to be transparent, and we're going to keep telling you all the stuff that we're doing and showing it to you. So every month we're going to be somewhere where you can come and talk to us. I don't know that it's been announced yet officially, but January 18th, we've got a club hangout. We're going to be at Pat Connolly Tavern. So, put that on your calendar. It's a Sunday. Come hang out with us, and we'll be talking a lot about a lot of other stuff besides just what we got here. So, and we want to hear from you. So, and that'll continue on even beyond that. So, lots of super exciting stuff, and really glad to have everybody, and can't wait to show what's coming.
Great. Okay, so that was where we've been, where we're at, where we're going. So this is the scoreboard. What does success look like for this club? In our first season of play, first of all, I want to say that this is really important to me in particular to share with you guys, because I really feel like from the beginning, if we had one member, 3 members, or the 87 or 86 members that we have today, it doesn't matter. We're accountable to you, and we're accountable to the Midwest Premier League eventually, and to the community that we promised, to do all these things for. So being able to hold ourselves accountable by telling you what success looks like for us, and so that you guys can hold us to it, is super important to me. So in our first season of play, We want to hit our baseline targets for sponsorships, memberships, attendance, and merch sales, of course. We want to stay true to our 7 pillars of purpose that we talked about earlier. And we want to fulfill all necessary requirements for entry into the Open Cup qualification. You'll hear us talk about Open Cup a lot. It's one of the reasons that we wanted to start this club. Open Cup is super important to us. And from season 1, day 1, game 1, we are going to be doing everything we can to make sure that we are able to get into the qualification rounds. And then in 5 years, so hard to say, right? But I imagine that we're leading our conference in attendance and we're maintaining continuous growth in membership year over year. We're consistently competing in Open Cup matches, and that perhaps we've established a charitable branch of the club with a free youth soccer camp. Something that we're all really passionate about is youth soccer. And just like we're trying to remove the barriers for enjoying soccer, we want to remove the barriers for playing soccer as well by offering a free youth soccer camp. Who knows what that turns into? That's just something that's kind of on our radar that we want to start working towards sooner rather than later. But definitely being able to have a charitable branch of our club. In 5 years, I mean, who knows what we'll start? We're talking about wanting a women's team, and we're talking about, futsal or power soccer. There's all kinds of things that we have on our radar that we've got to do first things first. But this is what success looks like for us in the first season and in the next 5 years. So the call up is Jeremy's part.
Hi. So I like to talk to you guys about what you can do for us currently. So if you could advance the slide, please. So obviously the number one way, and we've talked about already quite a lot in this presentation, is that memberships are currently the number one way to support us. So we have our 2 tiers. With the founders ring starting at $314, and then obviously our base membership being $25. Now, obviously, you might be watching this and already be like, "Hey, I am a member. What can I do if I want to do more than that?" You can always gift a member to someone. The more the merrier. So you can gift it to a family member, to gift it to a friend, and get them involved with the club. What you can also help us is joining our committees. We have a official Discord server that has very lively and has many people talking in it, and how we have many different channels and committees in there that you can be part of and help us, such as a technology committee, a social media committee, or outreach committee, or merchandise, or even event planning. So if you have any ideas or any expertise in those areas, you can help us, you can help the board, you can help the club grow in those areas. Obviously, you can also, as mentioned before, we have our in-person event coming on the January 18th, which is 2 weeks from now. And if you attending any in-person event, we'll blast those out via email, via our social media feed, and via the Discord. You'll see, hey, we're doing, and we're doing a hangout here, or we're doing a hangout there. And these events can be very casual or formal. It just depends on what it is. Sometimes it can just be like, hey, I'm grabbing some beers at Pat's. Welcome to chat about the club. What might have you, or it might be, hey, we're doing a board meeting. If you want to come and see what we're working on, that you can see part of that. Help us create new roles. If you are interested in being a club historian or photographer, videographer, club statistician, or generally volunteer for the club, obviously let us know. We're welcome to bring more people into the fold, having everyone be part of this club. As we've mentioned, this is a fan-built club, and we want everyone to be part of this club and have their voice heard in the club. And so if you think you can fulfill a role that you think that this club needs, go ahead and bring it up to us. We're always welcome for any new ideas, because we've all been talking to each other for a while now, so there's something we might have not thought of that someone else, that you looking in on the outside, might think of, like, hey, maybe we should do this. And of course, share your feedback or ideas. If you have anything that comes to mind, just don't hesitate to send us a message, send us an email, send us a message on Discord. It's like, hey, I thought of this. What if we do this? Or what if we partner with this charity? Or what if we have we considered this company for working for merchandise? Share it with us. We always welcome new ideas, and the more ideas, the merrier. And I think we have Tom, who has a special treat for the rest of you guys.
Yep. Put this together a couple days ago, and if you got it ready, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. Where does the heart of St. Louis lie? Does it lie in the two biggest rivers in our nation that confluence nearby? Is it in the roots of the trees in Forest Park, an enduring part of the city for 150 years? Or is it in the timeless bricks that help build the foundation of our streets and homes? Yes, so what is the heart to you when it comes to St. Louis? You'll find out in due time, but I really think our club name does really capture the heart of this city.
Yeah, so that was really exciting. I know the answer. Okay, so this is the end of basically our presentation. We've got, we'll open up Q&A, and then I just want to show this really quick so that those of you who might jump off at this point know that we've mentioned January 18th, 1 o'clock. That's a Sunday. That's our membership meetup at Pat Connolly's Tavern. We try to do something like once a month. We try to go to different areas and make it convenient for everyone. So the next one is the 18th. Just come hang out. We're usually there for a couple hours. And then March 13th is the big one for our members. You'll hear more about this soon. We'll send a formal invitation and everything else. But that is our members only club launch party, again, at Pat Connolly's. I swear we do go other places, but Pat's is just really friendly to Tom and therefore friendly to us. So that's where we meet. And they have really good fried chicken. We found that out the other day.
Yes,
so
do.
I will go back.
And while you're looking, Christine, I will say we had a couple questions during the presentation, and I went ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start catching up on those right now. Jerry Hayes, during the meeting, asked, what is our membership goal and what is the maximum number of memberships? Now, the rest of the board can speak to this. For the Founders Club memberships in 2026, really, that can be the roots of the club, the $25 level, as many as the more the merrier. Honestly, there is no limit we're putting on that. For the Founders Ring memberships, the 314, we put a cap on 64 members on that. Partly because it is a historically significant number, not just because of Interstate 64, but also just it's a historical date for our city, 1764, I believe it is. That's kind of where we are. So we have 29 of 64 Founders Ring members currently, and then we can have up to an unlimited number of memberships beyond that. Does anyone want to speak further on that? Joe?
Yeah, I'll chime in as just exactly what Tom said, but I'll also add in there that from a financial standpoint, we blew past our year target after about 3 weeks of membership opening. So our initial annual target for 2026 is way in our rearview mirror. And so any kind of target that we set financially is already been updated to go beyond that. And I think we will. Honestly, there's a lot of excitement. It's fantastic. And it's easy because we believe in it. It's not like we're trying to, sell. We want people to be here. We want people to be a part of it. And we're excited to be able to reward members with all kinds of cool stuff and create more and more of this community. So, so that's where we're at as far as targets. We're doing good.
Okay. Next question from Random Dude on YouTube. Where should we play? Question mark. To which Felix responded, on a pitch. Yes, we will be playing on a pitch. We will not be playing on bricks, Jack Stapleton. We will not be playing on tree roots, myself, and we will not be playing against Aquaman. Despite the teaser video, I will say. So I don't want to go too deep into where we want to play, partly because we do have a couple of targets, and they are in a kind of a specific area, which is kind of the area that we are wanting to play in, for reasons that will be apparent in the future. But I will say, after the state of the club is done, we've had a stadium development, even during this call, that I will discuss with the board afterwards and maybe get us a little closer to what our top venue would be. But this is something that we've been kind of working on behind the scenes, and yeah, so we are making progress on a stadium. And again, Midwest Premier League, you can't just go and play in like the middle of a park. You have to have there's requirements that the Midwest Premier League requires: locker rooms for one, public address system, scoreboard, and press box, essentially. So we are that kind of limits a little bit of what we're looking for, but it's also just to ensure that our fans have a quality venue, whether it's our club, whether it's any other club in the Midwest Premier League. So no, we're not playing at Anfield, JT Kirsting. We're not playing at Energizer Park either. Maybe someday. If Carolyn Kindle is hard on money and needs to sell Energizer Park, we will listen. Hopefully we're big enough by then. But yeah, that's kind of where we stand. So we might have some stadium stuff for you, hopefully sooner than later. Jack Stapleton offline, he sent me a couple of questions. One of the questions that he was asking about, and maybe Rain, you can talk a little bit more about this as you're on the sporting side of things. He asked about a budget for coaches. So of course, we're not going to kick a ball until 2027. We're using 2026 to really build up our base, build up our infrastructure, do a lot of research. I mean, we're going to be traveling during May and July to a lot of non-league clubs and lower league clubs, whether it's Midwest Premier League or elsewhere, to get some research about how well the things that they do right, and the things that we can take advantage of. But I will say, sporting is not something we have really dove super hard into at this point. We've been doing some preliminary research that Rain can kind of talk about, but I will say we have spoken to at least one person about potentially being a coach for us down the road. But as far as any specific plans on coaching budget or how that's going to work out, that's kind of still to be determined. Did you want to add anything to that, Rain?
No, at this time, it is still to be determined. We are still in search of the coach that we might want to help be the first pilot for our program. But as of right now, we're still searching and still figuring out what the ideal operational budget would be for the in-season cost and effectiveness.
That's correct. And one more question from Jack, rather, that I can discuss. He asked us if we're going to have a central list of potential sponsors and partners so that we don't do duplicative work, and we're not haranguing people. One thing we did with our facilities was that we had we still have a master list going of what facilities we've reached out to, what the result was, and our best determinations for email addresses, phone numbers, who to contact with. So we have that database going. Once we ramp up our sponsorship seeking portion of our club life, which is going to be very soon, we'll also have a central database as well that we'll work off with, and we can kind of keep track of who has contacted what. And I just want to again say that if any of you watching right now feel that you know an organization that would love to partner with us, on a community club that is nonprofit, that is, offering affordable soccer, accessible soccer, and really giving back to the community, feel free to send us an email at info@gatewayfootballgroup.org. We'll take any suggestions, and and if you can help make us contacts with the people we need to contact with, we would certainly be grateful for that. Christine, did you have anything else? I believe I kind of cut you off there.
You didn't cut me off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good deal. That is all the questions that we had at this point. One thing that Sebastian noted is that our schedule will not conflict with MLS once we get Midwest Premier League going, because Midwest Premier League plays from mid-May to mid to end of July. So like the only chance of bleed over would be at the very end of the season. Like say if we're playing for a championship, there could be a conflict when MLS restarts under its new schedule. But really, MLS is giving us a big opportunity here to not just us, but all non-league clubs to really kind of take center stage for that part of the year. Actually, we just got a question in the chat from Felix. Any developments from Midwest Premier League with the additions of the 4 KC teams and Kirkwood? Are they dropping into Gateway South or splitting? I've got to be a little careful here as to what I can say at this point and what I cannot say. What I can say is that I believe the KC teams are going to be in their own division, separate from the St. Louis teams. This is still going to be a very St. Louis-centric division, which is one reason we are very interested in playing in it, because not just because it reduces travel costs for an infant club like ours, but also just the fact it's a local league, and it's, that's St. Louis was built on the local North versus South game and all the, the community clubs that were playing back in the day. So I think it really, taps into that, for lack of a better term, spirit of St. Louis, for us to be a part of that league. And I will also say that, first of all, I don't think there's going to be a Gateway North this time around. I think that division, as the season went on last year, kind of collapsed. And I don't think in its form for 2025, it will be back for 2026. So like the Eastern Iowa clubs, there's, from what I understand, no plans to bring them down to us. They might be going to another division. And I will also, final thing I'll say on that, on Midwest Premier League, is that we expect by the time we kick a ball in 2027 that there could be double-digit numbers in the division on top of us. In fact, this coming season, I know for a fact, last year there was 6 teams in the Gateway South, which it'll have a new name this coming year. There will be more this coming season beyond Kirkwood. So follow Midwest Premier League on socials, Instagram, Twitter, whatever your favorite provider is. They've been updating as we've gone along on the new teams that are being added. Really, the entire league itself has added 15 teams just around, because they also have divisions in Chicago. They also have divisions in Michigan. They are really in growth mode at the moment. So it's a very exciting time to be in the league. But yeah, it's a growing division. Christine?
Yeah, I just want to add that something that's really important about the number of teams in our conferences is because once your conference has 12 teams, I think it's 12, you can have
Yes.
promotion relegation within your division or your conference. So that's something that we're looking forward to. Hopefully, maybe we'll make it 12. I don't know what it'll be like in 27. Of course, as they add some, they lose some across the league. So, but it does look like we're getting a lot of new teams added. So hopefully our conference will be one that can have promotion relegation sooner rather than later.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing I also want to bring up here is we've gotten a lot of questions, at least I have, offline. Will we ever start a women's team? And I will say, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn on this, but that is a goal of ours. down the road, to, once we get established in the Midwest Premier League, once we are, going for the Open Cup qualification and playing in those matches, once we really get established, we would absolutely love to start a women's team. Right now, we just feel that the Midwest Premier League is just a better fit for us at the moment to get started and fielding a men's team in the Midwest Premier League. But it's a women's team is definitely something that we are exploring, and is something that we definitely want to do down the road. Question from Ryan Bucket Hat: can we have Jeremy and Tom as our two strikers up top? You don't want me as a striker. I can tell you that right now. Jeremy and I scored in the Winter Classic yesterday for St. Louligans versus the American Outlaws. We raised food donations for the food bank yesterday, and also some added funds. And yeah, we happened to score some goals somehow. But no, we are going to. I will tell you something on and touch up on the sporting side as well. One of the things that we do plan on doing is we will be having tryouts whenever the time comes. We are essentially going to kind of let whoever we hire as our coach, help coordinate that with Rain and our sporting committee when we do get that going. And which, by the way, if you feel you can help out on social media, or if you have any sort of skill set that you feel you can donate to this team, we're kind of a potluck. Honestly, we are a potluck of different skill sets, and if you do not be afraid to send us an email, send us a message in our Discord if you feel that there is a part of the team that you want to get involved in. Me and Jeremy will be helping on our social media side as well as communications, but we are definitely interested in expanding our committees. We have quite a few committees going right now, actually. In fact, I can actually pull it up for you right now. We currently have a social media outreach committee. That's what me and Jeremy are in. We are starting up a sponsorship committee. A technology committee is off the ground. So if you have good tech skills in terms of, because we're going to be broadcasting games. So if you can help us out with technology, as far as like cameras or, just any sort of systems, back end stuff that we could use, we can definitely use your input. Marketing, events, merchandising. We could use some creative minds for merchandising as well. So please let us know if there is a way that you can help. Joe?
Yeah, just to piggyback on that too is, if you're interested too, not just like if you've got a ton of experience and are, have an expertise in a field, if you're interested in those areas and interested in wanting to learn and develop, this is a club that does that too. So you're going to learn skills internally just from being with people. I personally, would love to share skills and help people also grow as well. It's another opportunity to grow with your skill set. So not just if you're like, you've got a ton of great experience and you want to be able to help in that way, but if you've got interest and you want to learn some more, get involved in those things, because it's a good opportunity to learn things. And we talk about being a sustainable club. We want to be sustainable, and just because one person's doing a role, I'm director of marketing right now. I will not be director of marketing forever. There will be some, there's changeover, and we want to make sure that we're as strong as possible. So we want people engaged and multiple people being capable and wanting to take part in stuff. So even if it's just interest, reach out, be a part of it. Everybody's really cool. So.
Well, and something that we've talked about as well is a lot of clubs that have our membership model like we do, like the board as you see us today, in 5 years might be a completely different board. And for us, that would be a win, because that means that we have fresh ideas, fresh leadership, but we've also built a foundation that this club can continue to build and grow on. Because at this level of soccer, whether it's in America, whether it's in Ireland, whether it's in Germany, or what have you, you do need fresh ideas. And so we definitely want to be a club that encourages fresh ideas, open discourse, about anything as far as what we can do to improve, what we're doing well. We want to be the most open club in St. Louis, as far as having that pipeline between board and members. And Philip, and if anyone wants to learn accounting, like don't trip over yourselves. Like one at a time. Reach out to Philip, and he'll teach you the ways of accounting, what you've always dreamed of. That is at this point. That is all the questions that we have at this point. Did anyone else on the board want to add anything?
Yeah, I just appreciate everybody who's watching this and everybody who will watch this. I don't know how this works. I'm learning a lot of technical stuff myself. I make decks. That's what I do. And not even the very good ones, obviously. But we really appreciate everybody who is watching this, who's watching this later. We'll follow up with a newsletter so you have these things in writing. We want to try to communicate more with our members via newsletter and email. Those of you who are not on Discord, I highly recommend it. It's a scary place. I know there's a lot going on. You can mute things that you don't want to hear about, but we talk a lot and we just kind of riff on things a lot in Discord, and it's a good place to just like pitch ideas and see what lands. And also our monthly events, like we said, the next one on January 18th at Pat's at 1 o'clock is a good place to just come ask us anything, and we talk a bit more candidly. I've always said that if you corner me in the right time, in the right place, I will tell you the name of the club. I'm just kidding. I'm not saying that officially. Don't try it. But I'm just bursting at the seams to say it. So those are the kind of places that you'll get some major hints if you come show up. Yes, and our Discord has pet photos. I'm trying to start a book club. It's just me, Joe, and Steven at this point. If you guys are reading, chat with us about what you're reading. There's all kinds of stuff going on in our Discord. It's very lively.
The one thing I also want to bring up is that we're trying to build this club out in the open. So we are, as Christine mentioned, open books. Come corner us at a member event, join the Discord, really dive in. None of us bite, and we're all here to build this out in the open. So nothing is a secret right now except the name, and that will continue to be the case for at least a little bit. But I promise you that wait is worth it. Because it's a name that you picked. So we're trying to do things transparently, trying to really take an open source soccer model to how we're building this club. So your help, your input, everything is extremely valuable, and we can't do what we're doing now without you.
And yes, pet photos. I see you, random dude, in the chat. Yes, we would love to see your pet photos. We need to figure out some ways between now and the start of the Midwest Premier League season in 2027 of how we can get pets involved with our club. Maybe that's something that we can ask the community's help for. But I did also drop a couple links. It's really just one link, but it's an invite to our Discord server. So if you did not know how to get to our Discord server, click on that link, and it'll literally do the rest. And if anyone joins our Discord and is like, oh my God, this is overwhelming help, reach out to us. We can kind of walk you through it. Discord is a bit of an acquired taste for a lot of people. There's a lot to navigate, and it's different than just like going on Twitter or Blue Sky or Instagram. But it has been a great resource for us. There's a lot of good information that we have on there that lives on there. And it's kind of a good meeting ground for everyone when we can't get together in person.
I do plan to have a sticker that says my cat loves blank team, or my dog loves blank team. I'm sure those will be our biggest sellers, especially the cats.
Good job of not saying the team name.
I almost did. Telling you, I am the one. You don't have to question where the leaks come from. I'm sure it'll be me.
We'll see if we can get a one of those like pet jerseys going as well, or pet scarves that you can have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Any other questions? I think that our email was put in the chat, but info@gatewayfootballgroup.org is just the one that goes to all of us. We each have our individuals, which is like, mine is like C. Miller, T. Franklin, S. Bolin, J. Miller. at gatewayfootballgroup.org, but you can just email info at, and that will come to all of us. You can message us on Discord, private message us if you want to ask questions, or come see us on the 18th. But yeah, really appreciate it. I think that's it for us then, if there's no more questions.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks. Bye.